The concept of white privilege as it's being expressed isn't just stupid, it's actually dangerous. I'm going to make the case that the, very woke, anti-racist, self-hating white person is not a self-hating white person, they're a narcissist. Okay? This self-hating white people stuff, the best way to express it, what you see is when you see a group of white people bowing down to the black protesters here. This is not humility and sort of accepting and expanding on privilege. It's narcissism, and it's a way to avoid personal responsibility. Okay, here's my case. What we should be saying is, yes, you are capable of evil, but you are capable of evil, not the race you are part of is capable of evil. This is the sort of Jungian concept of you integrate your own shadow. And the way a standard human is supposed to work in this, and the way you want to become a better person, is you have to realize that you are capable of great evil. Daniel is capable of immense evil. It's not white people, it's me. Okay? There is a scenario in your life, yes, you specifically, you could have been operated a gas chamber at Auschwitz, even if you're Jewish. You could have beaten, whipped, sold people callously, even if you're black. Okay? You could have been abused someone in a residential school, even if you're native. You are capable of great evil. All studies bear this out. If there are certain confluences and certain factors in your life and certain social situations, there is a way to make you an incredibly evil person, do unspeakable evil, probably while you think you're doing something good. And that's what you have to realize about yourself, is that I am capable of evil, and that's how you prevent it. But this concept of sort of white privilege and collective guilt is fraying this in a sense, and it manifests two ways. Now, the worst way it manifests, and this is sort of like the main driving of left-wing anti-Semitism I've found, is it manifests like this. I hate white people. I might be white, but I hate white people. I hate Western civilization. Western civilization is built on this and racism and racism. I hate whites and whatever. But you really don't. You're a narcissist, right? You've never really examined yourself. You say, oh, it's white people. Oh, it's Western civilization. And oh, I cannot be a part of it. So the way you then manifest is you take it one step away from where you are. So this is why you see a large amount of people who will be anti-Israel and they, oh, listen, I'm not anti-Semitic. I just hate Western civilization. But you remove it one step from yourself because you don't really want to do any sort of self-criticism, right? Your hatred from America, you expressed it as anti-Israel. You're hateful for white people. You're like, well, look at the Jews. Right? It's the white Jews, right? So you take it one step away from yourself because you're not even capable of self-criticism. The other way this manifests, and this is the sort of bowing down to black people in the middle of the streets, is you go, okay, I am a good person, but because I am white, that is my flaw. My flaw is not my innate human ability for evil, and also ability for great kindness. I'm not saying you have ability to do both good and evil. But instead of saying, I personally have flaws, Daniel is a flawed person, you say, it's the whiteness that is flawed. And there is a way to absolve myself of sin here. And the way I absolve myself is I do this act of humility and I bow down and I prostrate myself to the black community saying, I have privilege and I absolve myself. I put a black square on Twitter. If I'm Reddit, I change my thing. Google puts a black ribbon. So see, I have absolved myself of the capability to do evil. But it's completely false. One, because you're looking for absolution. You're looking to purge yourself of evil, which is not how it works, right? And I mean, Buddhist teaching, there's no actual teaching where you purge yourself of evil. I mean, even biblical thinking, Buddhist thinking, a lot of religions talk about the fact that you have the capability to evil and you must understand yourself. But this is not understanding yourself. This is saying my evil is totally tied to this external group, which I will then separate myself from, and then I will even cleanse myself of it. So I will say whites are flawed, but I say this prayer, Black Lives Matter, and then I bow, right? Baruch atah to Black Lives Matter. You bow, you do your thing, right? You go to the temple, you absolve yourself of sin, you come out clean. But you're not. You still are human. You still have the ability to do great and evil things. Great kindness as well, but great and evil. So this way you're not even accepting your flaws here. You're putting your flaws onto a sacrificial lamb. This is exactly like this is the scapegoat. This is the biblical scapegoat. Now the crazy Jews did the thing with the chicken over their head, but this is the scapegoat. You're taking a scapegoat here. What you're doing is you're saying, these are my sins. Instead of being responsible for them, I'll sort of tie them to me, but I'll put them on my whiteness. And then I will sacrifice my whiteness in this prayer ritual, and now I am clean. It's bullshit. You're not. That's not how this thing works, right? So it's a complete way of avoiding any sort of personal responsibility is by putting it on a group, bowing down. It's BS. It's false humility. You're not helping anything. You're not making yourself a better person. All you're doing is just kicking this down the can. And it drives me crazy. And our prime minister is out there, blackface himself. Captain Blackface himself is out there protesting. What could be a better example of what I'm saying than Justin Trudeau going out to a protest? He was sequestered at the cottage. No one's allowed outside. Everyone going outside is racist, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to go to a protest to protest who? Yourself? You joke? Like I said, he's not the Prime Minister of Canada at this point. He's a mascot for the international left. What could be more shallow than the Prime Minister protesting? Come up with a solution. But the Prime Minister is the exact example of this, right? Canada is so racist. Canada is so racist. So instead of saying, listen, I'm gonna re-bring up my flaws here. I have this capability for evil. As a leader, I'm gonna take responsibility. And again, I was someone who wore blackface. I perpetuated this. No. Canada is evil. And I will go to these protests and I will take the knee and I will absolve myself of sin by putting all my evils on my whiteness, not on my own faults, and then sacrificing it at the temple of wokeness. And it's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. And these anti-racist white people out there fighting white privilege and talking about it, it's not humility, it's narcissism.